I'm now here with Gerald, and we're going to be doing an advanced session on aura and chakra reading. Now we're going to get deeper, trying to get some answers for the diagnostic he gave me during his first basic session. So I'll let you do your thing.
Okay, well, we basically, the best thing is which is the most significant one, what I saw before, was that your base chakra, your root chakra, they call it Muladhara chakra, whatever, the bottom chakra, the grounding chakra, was out of balance. If a person's got that, and now I know from your life, I know a little bit, so I just apologized, just getting this knowledge now in there too, because I would see it too, but I would kind of maybe approach it in a different way and get into an interaction. The important thing is I'm interacting with a person. The person has to give me answers too, not in the way that they have to give me the answer that I want to hear, but I just ask them about a certain issue they have, and then I ask maybe is it that or is it that, and the person has to confirm sometimes. Sometimes I can really see it. It's obvious. So go back to the to your ground chakra, grounding chakra, I'd call it. The simple thing is, with a project like this, and the way I know you, it is very difficult, and it needs a strong energy, a balanced person like you are to do that. But still, you will have something like that. When you go back then to your ground chakra, why that is, there are issues with you, and to my feeling, they come in from another life. There is another influence in your DNA, which contains all your lives, or connects all your lives, that creates these issues. There is a fear factor not from this life, but from another life, how to lose the grounding by maybe losing family or the financial basics that you have, and then you can have these kinds of issues coming maybe playing in from another life, which needs to be healed. When you stabilize yourself in that, you'll get the next step that you get even stronger, like everybody does if something like that gets healed. So the connection here is that you have to find really your own balance again in this particular way. In this particular way, it means trust. It means just trust. Trust it all, trust into yourself, in your project, and then you start getting grounded again. Which means that the energy flow will start again, and then your aura field will get in resonance with all the other stuff around you, and then the good stuff comes back to you. Can you get out of balance? All the bad stuff comes because it's a resonance thing. This is the second law that is not written in any kind of physics book. The first one is duality, and the second one is resonance. So, what you can do is just starting to rebalance by trusting yourself. Basically, the grounding is the trust. It is trust, it's confidence. But this is what I can say about that. We can try to go into another life, but there's probably not only one where you had that issue, which means that you have other lives probably where you have been in a very dominant role, in a role that has been helping you to express yourself really well, but on the other side, you created issues that were bringing you away from that. To go to another life from you, it is very difficult right now for me, because we have everybody around us, and there I need really some quiet space. Because when I get into a sensitive state like this is another stage. I'll receive stuff from him, and then my brain and all my system, tries to figure that all out, and it is very difficult. So I can just tell you that from the energy level that you have, you just can rebalance yourself by getting into a confident state, not even confidence in this or that or whatever, just being confident.
But with other people you've been going?
I can go, in some cases I can go and go to these things, but I have to tell you too that I will not go into these energies if I realize that this person is not ready for that. Because this can cause, let's say, a big upset inside the system, of the whole system. It's not this system, but it's the system in other lives they are connected with. Because when you transform something here, you transform it in the other lives too. So you don't want to get anything upset if somebody is not really ready to make the decision. So everybody who listens to that needs to understand that when he goes that way, so he wants to have really that kind of insight, he's getting confronted with a lot of issues that maybe he carries or she carries around, and this may cause a lot of upset everywhere.
Now, these sessions are also highly personalized.
Yes. Yeah, and it's very confidential. I can talk about that with a name. On some occasions I might say I knew this person that had this kind of issue, and I have to explain it in this kind of way or in this kind of matter. Now I can give you an example, but I will never talk what this person said together with a name or something.
So this is really face-to-face.
Yes, it is
session.
a total face-to-face session.
Between
and
two persons.
Yes, and like I say, I'll create a lot of energy then, which the aura field of the other person will notice, and this might cause the odd thing. So I'll first, when I have the first session, I understand the person, and then I know how far I can go with that, and how far I can treat the person, because I will always work to the benefit of that person. I will never try to interfere in things where I have a feeling that this person still needs to be in there for a while to understand himself better.
Okay, what else at this point? Can you tell, can you read? If you go a little bit deeper.
Well, I can read with you in general, because I've been around you for a while, that you have done something like that before, but connected even with this place here. So you have been in some way connected to this place in a dominant role. 2, you had spiritual abilities that would make it possible for you to work all this stuff here, like all these devices, let's call them devices, all these possibilities, and much more probably that I can do right now or anybody else could do when you were there and overseeing that. It's something like a high priest, let's say, the middle point of that, because when your aura field shows gold, you always have connections to other lives where you had a golden role. So your role was the one that you're taking in right now back again. You're taking back your old role and your new role, so the time comes together. Time connects in a circle. So there, you're on this circle now. Coming from another one, you just stepped on this circle, and you are in this kind of role. What will happen if you stay on this path, which you will do, obviously, you become, call it a high priest, of this place again. Not in a negative way, but in a positive way. So what you've been doing there is another thing I can maybe look for. So what you have been really doing here. There was connections to other civilizations in space. They've been communicating with you, and you were kind of the link between all the work here and the influence they gave, the help they gave to you. You were the one that was kind of connected with this kind of source. There were others too, but you were, as far as I experience with everything around here now, the center point of that. So you were communicating. You were kind of intuitively or given as information in an intuitive way to you, creating in a lot of ways all these things here. So when you get deeper into that feeling again, you know, what you have been there, you'll understand more of the whole situation because you've done it all. So it is very important that you focus on this kind of energy that you have been here, have been inspiring, coordinating, and you have to feel it, and you have to feel it every day more, and then it'll start coming back to you because it'll activate those dormant parts in your DNA and your information field. People that have a golden aura field, they have been in very special positions everywhere around the world. This is why the ancients, in the late, I told you that already, that the ancients, when they lost their power, they were kind of putting golden stuff around their heads and around their necks and wearing all this golden stuff, which kind of did nothing. Just did nothing, basically.
Symbolistic. Like symbolistic
Yeah.
of something from the
Yeah,
past.
yeah. It was just a symbol, and this is about the gold that was kind of gathered everywhere and stored, and all these things have been done with that. And the value of gold is not the value; it's just a metal, you know.
Yeah.
But it's the energy of the kings. It's the energy. The dragons were kind of watching over. They were overlooking that, were protecting this energy.
Mhm.
We're not protecting a lot of gold bars and coins in a cave. That's
Yeah,
not what.
And if we go back to chakras,
Yeah.
like in my particular case,
Yeah.
let's go to some with some difficulties, and let's see how we can do a resolution, or if we can do a resolution, or if we can help resolve some issues there.
Well, I
Because
told
that's what we want to.
Yeah, well, I told
offer
you
to some
about the lower chakra, you know. Here it is just a question of confidence. Trust in yourself, trust in the energies around you, trust what's coming to you, and this will reflect to you. So I can tell everybody, if I say something like that, it is not necessary to go into another life, it's not necessary to do this or that. We just have to stick with that and find out how to create more, in this case, more confidence. Or maybe talking about another person's heart chakra that has been all in that red energy field.
What would you do
Yeah.
there? What's the recommendation there?
The first step is to understand what's hurting that person. So this person needs to express what is the problem for that person. And then he can go back to the next step. You can see what is the healing aspect of that. So what is the healing aspect of them? So we express what is the healing aspect, what is the healing aspect. And then you understand if there is any kind of resistance to that healing aspect. If there is any kind of resistance, we have to go back and understand where this comes from, and they have to understand why this person has this kind of, let's say, a value system to say, okay, the resistance that this person creates for that needs to be first examined, and then we have to go back to that. So this is a step-by-step process where in the end the person realizes why he created this kind of situation, or she created this kind of situation, and then in the end feels herself or himself back into a way more beneficial situation based on knowledge and consciousness that has been changed in this case.
Okay, you said step-by-step
Yeah.
process. So if we have this issue with the trust,
Yeah.
with the confidence
Yeah.
in oneself, so what would be the steps there?
The step would be first
Step number
why.
1.
So, not why, but I think in English I'd say why, in German I'd say weshalb, not why.
Oh, it's not warum.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, okay. So, I'd say, what is the reason for that? Now, this is something really personal, and I don't want to maybe...
But you can help with that.
Yes,
Do
I
you
can
see
help
that?
with that. I see that. I don't want to do something right now which is very personal for you in front of the camera
Okay.
because of the project and everything.
But this is
Yeah.
something that you
Yes,
can
I can do
offer.
that. I can do that. I
So
can
when
go
talking
with
to
that
people,
person.
you can tell, hey,
Yes, I
this
can.
is your issue.
Yeah, and
So
we have
you
to. We go.
diagnose it,
Yeah, yeah.
and then this is how
yeah,
we can
and
resolve
it's
that.
like if you switch off the tunnel in this place here, the
Yes.
light
Yes.
in this place,
Yes.
everything's dark, and I'm coming with a lantern, take the hand of the person, and help these people, through the tunnel, so they can see the light, their own light. And then when they see the light, I let them go. They will go the last steps on their own because they already see the light. That's the process.
And time-wise, do you think that another the second half an hour session would be sufficient? Would be enough? To
Yes,
go
for
through?
most of the parts, I can for sure trigger some things. And there might be other sessions after that. If this is a very hard case, there might be, but I still can trigger it always. There will be always triggering that situation because of one reason. If that person walks in there with me, somewhere inside there has been made already a decision to get in resonance with some kind of change that the lower energy, or not the lower, the subconsciousness of that person already made a decision. Therefore, you know that there will be a result. The result gets created in the creation.
So during the second session, basically you're gonna focus on a biggest issue. Let's put it this way. Let's
Yes.
see which one
Yes.
of, let's say, 7
Yeah,
chakras
yeah.
has the major
Yeah,
obstacle
yeah,
or
yeah,
not
yeah.
open enough.
Yeah.
So basically you focus, okay, now let's go
Yeah.
deeper,
Of
let's see
course.
what causes it,
Yeah,
and let's see how we're going to resolve it.
yeah, and this
And then
has,
you go through this several step process
Yes.
trying to resolve it.
yes, we always can work that out. We always can find that. And then it depends on the beliefs that person has, if it can be really changed. That is a very important thing because everybody has free will. However, that will be expressed. This is a very important thing everybody has to know. You have to have really pure intent to change the situation because you have been in a very difficult situation before. That you want to really resolve, but you do not find a way to that. But as soon as you express pure intent, that's a very important thing, it will be resolved. It's that easy. The only thing is then to go this way. It's like calling somebody in a dark tunnel, bring me a light.
But really, in this process, both persons have to be open completely. Nothing holding back, like
well,
the person who...
I have to tell you one thing. Everybody holds something back.
Mm.
I cannot tell somebody completely open up yourself because you have an issue. You cannot do it. It's just a blockage. So we have to go diligently and carefully to these issues.
And I see the way you express yourself, it's in very polite way. When you see something, you never say, hey, this is the problem you have, and then boom, directly to the head. You always find kind of nice expression to
this is
describe
very
it.
important because you can you can see the aura field of the other one contract if you say something that is already made him sensitive,
Right.
if you talk to that. I can see that,
That's
I can
awesome.
really feel it, and that doesn't make any sense. I did sometimes, and sometimes I really do that. Sometimes, very, very rarely I do it because somebody maybe is really offending me or doing something like that, so I might defend myself, and then I just, say this is,
Now, when you said that you can see that the aura is contracting,
yeah,
probably you meant when I see that they're either holding something back or they're not telling me the truth.
No, yeah, that's another part of it. And there's some colors are changing, you know, like around the head or something, or the heart. And it's it's like, how to explain? It's really that the aura field contracts of a person when you do something that shocks the person. It's the same with blood. Who told me that he's been in one of those chambers with the low?
It was me.
That was you, yeah. You have the same effect with the aura. It goes like this, densifies. It's a protection mechanism because of all the energies that are around us, which we are all creating, and we are all interacting with each other all the time. So this is kind of a protection mechanism. So the aura field densifies. In former times, when I started working with energy fields like 20, 30 years ago, I would not have all that experience. So I would go to a person, you know, and I'd say, okay, do you feel that? You know, and this person was kind of, no, I don't feel it. Yeah, but still you could see sometimes reactions that the people were starting to tremble or doing stuff like that, you know, and they say, hey, what's with my arm? I don't know. It's like, yeah.
Okay, good. Now, so this will be an idea how the advanced session
Yeah.
look like with Gerald. Gerald, thank you very much.